We are the nerds of the apocalypse.
You guys that are just coming in, so we're not going to do a tremendous amount of critiquing. That takes place in our creating character voices class tomorrow, which should happen today. But what we'll do is just come up and show your stuff, and we're going to write down a few notes, and not everybody gets to go up. I'm sorry. But we're going to pass out as many scripts as we can, so without further ado, we're going to hit it right now, so that we can get as many people up as possible.
And then one note that you do is that, because we don't have a microphone working in here on the stand, you're going to have to just do a check so everybody can hear you if you're on the stage.
Hi, Tori.
We will not critique you like you're talking too loud, like voiceover, you're like on stage. Alright, so let's have some fun.
Oh, thanks. Oh, yeah, I have my helper too. Oh. Thank you. Okay, so Tokyo Ghoul, who's a fan?
Oh, yeah, she's a fan of obsessed.
Oh, okay, but this is Connect.
Oh, God.
Connect me?
Go.
Anybody want to connect me?
Anybody want to connect me from Tokyo Ghoul? Let's tell you what we have, okay? We have Saber from Fate Zero. Saber from Fate Zero. We have Lust from Full Metal.
Oh, yes!
We have
That's funny, because his name is Lust.
Better do a good job with that one. Okay, and
Lancer from Fate Zero. Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul.
Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. Doesn't matter what you guys read, just give it a shot. Okay?
That's alright.
Anybody else? Kaneki.
Alright. Who wanted Saber from Fate Zero? Yeah?
Here, give me that. No, she wants Lust. She wants Lust. Okay.
Saber?
You guys
Saber?
call it after
Saber?
me to
Saber? Lancer? Anybody want to be Lancer?
Anybody else want to do Lust?
You're not locked in any genders in my world. So you get a crossover. Anybody guys want to do Lust?
Anybody want to do Pets?
Mix it up.
Sailor Moon. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Pets is a good one for me.
Thank you.
Valhallacon. All right.
Amon from Tokyo Ghoul, great guy.
Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul, another guy.
There's
Does another guy want to try doing this? Well, you are looking at me like you're looking around.
Who else wants to participate? Anybody? You didn't get a script yet?
Do you want to participate?
You're on? Let's give you.
Let me hear your voice. Say hi, Jessica.
You want Saber or do you want to do Amon from Tokyo Ghoul? Nobody's taking this one.
I'll take Amon.
You want it? You got it.
Anybody else that's... Oh, we've got Lust and Pets, and I think that's it. That's what we got.
Anybody else want to participate? No?
Me.
Ready?
You don't have to know about the show. You're going to make it up on your own. You guys, listen, when we go into an audition, we don't know the show. It's a brand new show. So even if you don't know the show, it's just showing your chop. All right? All right. These chairs. You know, it's right there. It's back there. He wants to do the challenge. Okay, so
Take some time, look them over.
Take some time, look them over. Yeah.
She's just like Kill.
Okay, so guys, randomly we're going to call you up based on your character.
Yeah. Take your time.
Do you have one? I wanted to do All right. The first person that's going to come up is Lancer. Who has a Lancer script?
All right.
And what's your name?
James.
Hi, James.
James, be cool.
It'd be very cool. All right. Tell us really quickly what your interest is in doing anime or animation.
Just really anything as long as like animation or video games, Western, Eastern. I enjoy all of it.
Okay, cool. Great. Do you have any experience?
I do online voice acting for like different people's like personal projects, and I work on the Bridge series with a couple friends.
Great. Okay, cool. Wow. Online voice editing. I might need to talk to you. All right, James. Whenever you're ready, take a big breath
All right.
and ease your way into it.
And take your time. I think the biggest note we can give you is they're kind of, all your scripts are broken down into sort of little beats, as we call them, different moments. So,
All of it, or like just
yeah,
all of them? Okay.
Yeah.
Can we close that door? Do you mind?
No, I got you. Two people.
These are our judges in training for They both have experience too.
Yeah.
Where's that blade of hers? Without knowing its exact length, I can't get close enough to attack. The fact that she's able to repel my strikes so easily means that she must be a master swordsman. Well, there really is no honor in a battle fought without a proper exchange of names. Allow me to offer my regards. It's impressive for a woman to fight so hard without even breaking a sweat, but somehow you do it. Are you using a focused wind mana to keep your blade concealed? I'll wager you have a very good reason to conceal your sword from me. I think the sword reveals your true name. And the time has come for me to kill you. Prepare yourself, Saber. This time, you are mine.
James will be number one. It's not always easy to be number one. Well, it's
You are
Yes.
number one.
Sure.
All right. Go ahead.
You have a very nice, easy to listen to voice, and it's totally understandable. It's a great step. For sure. Yeah. Help your tone. As they say, you girls will tell everybody, you have a great tan. What's a tan? I have a great tan? Yeah, I work on it. No. I think what I want to see is kind of give each one a little more of its own beat, maybe build it as the scene gets a little more intense and it's ready to kill. Just really connect to it and just bring a little more life.
Yeah, so I wrote great voice, and the other thing is you can't ever keep your hands on the stand.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's a good note for everybody as we move forward. But that, again,
if you're the guinea pig for the first one, we'll oversee some of that stuff. You know, the first person goes.
I'm
But
the firstborn child of my family, so
yeah, so
I'm
yeah, you're the one who gets to get in the accident, and nobody gets to get the car. All right, so you have to change beats. So in your script, you guys stop talking, please. In this, the one of them says to yourself. So I think you did that really well. And then when you're doing to Saber, you can actually sort of like shift your head around and put Saber out in front of you.
Okay.
The notes have to change. You kind of pick the same note for each one. It's a pretty note. You have a really pretty note, but you've got to use your body. Got to get your hands on the stand. I know that that's where your nerves were going right into your hands because I saw it on the stand. Everybody gets nervous, and by the way, this is my 36th year in the business, and I still get nervous. So I call them pangs now because I know what to do with it. It's different energy, but I'm human. So it starts getting a little bit easier as you get more experience, obviously. Nice. All right, great.
Ooh,
all right.
Thanks for James.
What's your pets? Okay. Oh. Okay. And tell it, Kat? How's your name? Angela.
You have always made fun of me, but now I think you keep suffering relentless. As long as I have this, my power is unlimited. I can now overthrow Rubus and rise to the top of the Blackwood family. You're nothing for traitors, but I don't need you. Dark lightning! Ah, you're finally awake, Lord Sapphire. I'm sorry, we betrayed you. I'm ready for my punishment, but I beg you, please forgive my sisters. I'll take care of all the blame. Please don't go, Lord Sapphire. If you go to please the mountain in the state, because if something happens to you, I'll never forgive myself. Goodbye, Lord Sapphire. Go on to my heart.
Yeah, nice you guys. Do you have acting experience? Are you getting it? I would think that you did, which is a compliment. So nice job, Angela. I think you started off reading, and you finally got into it, which is a good note for people, which we teach in the class tomorrow. Sometimes start from the bottom line, and then like to yourself, and then start. There's a lot of rushing through. It's the same note thing, you know. You're in pets. You dark lightning is like dark lightning. It's got to be that big. When you're laughing maniacally, you went. Yeah, push it to the limit.
Okay.
It's a lot easier for directors to tell you, and I'm a voice director on a lot of different series, and Grant is too, in a lot of different films. And it's a lot easier for us to say, guys, come back a little bit. It was too much, like Dio, you know? But it's really hard to get actors to go forward, like more. That takes a lot of prompting. Okay, so but nice job.
Yeah, my thing was just slow it down. I know, you know, your initial reaction is with nerves, of course, is to want to just motor through it, but just take your time. Really connect with who you're talking to is another thing, another note. This happens to be one of those scenes where there's two different scenes within your thing. So one is to the man you love, and then the other one is, you know, just maniacal. So really think about, you know, maybe it's good enough for, as we're giving these notes to everybody, they're kind of a note for everybody else. So the last person who goes always wins. No. No, but I mean, just think about these two. Who are you talking to, and how will you speak to them? Because it does change from someone you're in love with someone you're going to kill. Sometimes it's the same thing. Not in my terms. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Nice job, everyone. Okay, why don't we get up a
Saber. Saber.
Saber.
Alright, let's go Saber. Tell us your name.
Alexia.
I just wrote Saber.
You're ready. Take your time.
I see you have an enchanting charm spell. Surely you don't believe that a pleasant face and a charming swagger will save you from the bite of my blades, being a man. Oh, so what you desire is a fair fight? Then let us begin. The long spirit in the right hand, or the short spirit in the left. Which one is the noble man? If I could be certain which one it was, I could attack him. Wherever he is master of the spear. But that is not. That red spear of yours is able to negate magic. Very well. If I cannot block your blade, I need only kill you before it strikes. I'm afraid you'll never know the true name of my blade. I'll finish this before you ever get the chance. Prepare to die.
So something was interesting there. We were talking about like keeping your hands free. You started out your hands on the podium, and then as you started to get free,
And you went left.
Yeah, as you started, and it made more sense for what you were saying. So that's a good note, just to keep those hands free, because it does help your performance.
Do you guys get the concept when, well, I know you get the concept, but when we say get off the page, do you know what that means? Get off the page? Can somebody share what you think that means?
Don't look at it the whole time, like eye contact.
No. No, but that's a great thing you could do, because you're sort of going to your imaginary person that you're speaking with. Yes.
You let your thinking be yourself.
Yeah, I actually think that you have to own your characters. So if you were a real character, you wouldn't be like this on a copy stand. You'd be like talking to someone and being that character. And if we worked, you know, if we had time to work on this, which again, I encourage you guys to come to our creating character quiz tomorrow. Okay, that's enough prompting. I won't do that. But maybe one. But you'll really see, like, who am I? I gotta make myself this character. If I said, okay, all you guys are a cat, and you went, meow, meow. But now I said a cute, dude, you are a cat. Right. Okay, now clean yourself. Clean yourself. And now be a feisty cat. Okay, right. So you become the character, right? And I can throw those things at you. Really, like, I call it getting, like, the character should be here and you should be sitting in its face. Does that make sense? You know? If it's a big character, like some of the bigger women, men themselves, I call them, that I do, I can't do it like this. I can't do it with my arms down. Like the new character that I play, I'm right here. Like everything's done for 5 hours or 4 hours. It's done right here. But if I put my arms down, that voice goes away. It's like my power. You know what I mean? So find something in your body that owns what that character is. You have it. Just more prompted, and you have it. Give it captivating. I wrote captivating. Give it captivating sound. Yeah. Nice job, guys. All right, Jax, you want to become the person? Next character?
Come on.
Come on.
Come on down.
Right away.
What's your name?
Outlet.
Hi. Yeah. Whenever you
Yeah,
want.
take your time with this one. This is done without its beats.
A friend of the rabbits. I don't have time to entertain you. Why don't you step aside? I've always had a question for you freaks. You casually prey on innocent people and compulsively devour them. Why does your kind exist? What about the children whose parents you've killed? And the grief and loneliness of those left behind? Have their feelings crossed your mind even once? Answer me! There's a lot wrong in this world, and scum like you are the reason for it all. I don't have time to waste on you. He's aiming for my Kincaid. No! There's nothing I can do without my Kincaid. Wait, I must remember the creed. If the foe is before you, even if it costs your arms and your legs, you must fight to the finish.
Yeah. So your first thing out of the box, you were on the page. So I'm only using you guys as examples for the next person, right? A little bit better. But get off the page before you start, because your second paragraph, your third paragraph, and your fourth piece, you were like, oh my God, like I didn't want to write anything down, I just wanted to watch you. So it was really like you started owning it, slow down, feel the moment, every line, every second has a different thought. One of the things that I like that you did is stammer a little bit, so it's like you didn't know what it is that you were going to say, even though the words are right there. And sometimes you could be like, friend of the rabbits. You hear what I just did with the You can put that stuff in until they tell you they don't want it. But you'll hear people doing that. So you can embellish. Oh, it doesn't have to be So you can do that stuff. So that's great.
And that's part of getting off the page that we were just talking about, which is not being so concerned that the words come out as written on the page, but bringing these words to life. And if that means, like you've got to think about, why does your kind even exist? Even all that life in between just brings it off the page and brings it to life. So, yeah, thank you. Johnson.
Or whatever. Not gonna put it up on your wall.
We have a lust.
It's a hiccup, I'm so sorry. Morgan.
And Morgan, is this a lifelong dream for you?
Like, I want to do this once I started watching anime and stuff like that with kids.
Are you kind of a kid still?
Yeah, honestly, like I did acting in high school.
Are you a teenager still?
I'm 18. I just graduated.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that's another, one more note, I'll let you go. This is what this room is for, we're closed. You guys can have as much fun and be kids, and like we used to play when we were kids. You are free to do it in here. This is a big warm blanket for you guys to have as much fun as you want, be over the top as much as you want.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my, what a coincidence. I can't believe you stood up to me. You knew I was waiting for you. I want to see you shine. So sorry for tricking you. Do I know Mace Hughes, you ask? Oh yes, he was a handsome, smart man. It's a pity I couldn't finish him off. Ooh, gunfire. You want me to get on my knees and tell you everything I know?
That's impossible. Boys can't. As I expected from the hero of Ishbal, you're relentless. And it looks like you did your homework, Sean. So as a reward, I'll show you this. A philosopher's stone. Humans created this with the stone as their core. That's what we humans are. Oh, you think I'm a monster? How rude. And unfortunately for you, you can't even make your fire now. Too slow.
Okay, I'll start. Oh, you want to get the thanks, Lust.
Lust.
All right, Morgan. Acting chops. You have good acting chops. You have a good sense right off the bat. So I think you guys can contend that she was walking back and forth on the mic. So on the imaginary mic. So that would sound like you were doppling the mic. So make sure that your instinct is wonderful. It really is. First of all, your beat changes were just really great. And you took your time, which I really like. Your inclination is to really act and be up on stage. Yeah? Is that where your training comes from?
Yeah, that's kind of why.
Okay. So in voiceover, you have to stand in one place, and all the places that you would move on a stage or in a movie have to be right here. You can move like crazy here without all the jewels. I'm not wearing voiceover stuff today. But, you can move like crazy, and you can turn your body, but you can't turn your lips. Okay? We work all the time. There's a picture of me from Thursday going like this. And they're like, we want to show you something. I'm like, you delete that right now. They're like, no, we have it for we have it for later. But I mean, it's really about that, like just being in character. But the lips stay on the mic. If you have to pop your P, you can turn your head a little bit, but that's the only thing. The feet stay planted. Yeah, feet stay planted, lips stay on the mic. Everything else in between can move like crazy if you're not hitting the mic.
Yeah, it's a challenge for voice acting because that you're limited to that space.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you're someone who works on stage, you get as big and broad as your stage will allow. When you work on camera, you've got to bring it really tiny to the point you feel like you're doing nothing. And then somewhere in between the sort of voiceover where you have, it's still big and there's a lot that you have to do to make that performance come out of the voice, but you still got to keep in that one little area. And unfortunately, sometimes you work on Foley stages, which are the ones where you have little pits of the gravel or bricks or all these random things that they record people walking their footsteps in. So the ground isn't always quite secure. So any kind of movement can create like a little creak or something like that would be picked up on the mic. But yeah, great instincts, I thought, and great, connection to what you were saying.
Thank you.
Yeah. Who's next? We have Becky. Did I get out of here?
All right. What's your name? Hi, John.
Stop! I won't let you pass. I can't let this man get to them. That is my duty. Is it really true that ghouls are stirring up trouble in this world? But ghouls have feelings too, just like humans. Why can't humans see that part of us? Why don't they try to understand? I'm the only one who realizes it, who can reach out to it. Only me, the ghoul. Only me, the human. We should learn from each other, both humans and ghouls. We can't keep taking from each other. We have to break this cycle of grief. I feel like my appetite is going to consume me. I'm slipping into an indulgent rampage, but I won't lose sight of the person I am. Please, run away! If this keeps up any longer, I'm going to kill you! Don't make me a murderer! Go! Please!
What are your parents wish?
No, really good, like, words. every time we get a commercial piece of copy, it says, one person is a very popular sound. It's a sound people like to listen to. And I like the fact that using the body, connecting with that, and also the things that were intimate to yourself, thinking, as opposed to things that straight out.
I think it's so funny because you're over there going like this. When I was passing them out, you're like,
Anybody else want to do it but me?
and then you get up there and you know what, and you just so are you shy by nature? Yeah. I think I am too, and so getting on stage was never something that really interested me. Grant, on the other hand, is probably more shy than I am and loves stage. So it's like a perfect place for you to be in a dark studio with the lights off. You know, you have a gorgeous diction. So are you from the South?
Yeah.
But no Southern accent, huh? You avoided that.
Okay.
Well, it's usually parents who stick on people or teachers, you know, about proper enunciation. But your diction's pretty beautiful. So, and your acting, Chop, or right there. Have you done any acting before?
Taking a few classes.
Are you a mirror actor? Do you do stuff in front of the mirror? Have you since you were little?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's a great thing to do. It's a great thing to admit. I mean, I was my own best friend growing up. My dog. But yeah, my dog. Yeah, best scenes with myself.
Nobody ever saw.
But keep practicing. See what you look like because you really do understand. You get it. Like you have a natural quality.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. All right, what's next?
Roles. Who else is out there? We have pets.
I have pets.
Yeah, let's do pets.
Meg, what do you have? Okay, Lachlan, everybody. This is Lachlan.
You have always made fun of me. But now, I think you look cute suffering like this. As long as I have this, my power is unlimited. I can now overthrow Rubius and rise to the top of the Black Moon family. You're nothing but traitors. But I don't need you. Oh, Dark Lightning! You're finally awake, Lord Sapphire. I'm sorry to betrayed you. I'm ready for my punishment, but I beg you, please forgive my sisters. I'll take all the blame. Please don't go, Lord Sapphire. If you go to Prince Demende in this state, you could... If something happens to you, I never forgive myself. Goodbye, Lord Sapphire. You'll always be inside of my heart.
Okay, so I have some competition. Be careful, right? I play pets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sailor Moon. But I thought that was beautiful. Yeah, I understand. You have some good talent, and you have some training, or you're getting some training, and you're really pursuing this, and I love that. My only comment would be, in a constructive way, is don't be so stoic. Like maybe, and that would be my giving you direction and changing the scene a little bit. Like you said goodbye, Lord Sapphire. You'll always be inside my heart. He's kind of stoic. If I said to you that this is the man that is walking away from your life, like I get the chills thinking about it because in Sailor Moon, he goes away, and she's like this. And Pets is a strong person, and she has to be because she's the leader of her sisters. But he goes away, and it's the one single tear you see go down her face. And it just ends like that. So within your colors of the rainbow, push and come down a little bit. I felt you staying a little too much up here, with your intensity. And really, that's all I have to say because I thought it was really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. I get it. And just to continue on sort of that thought, it's an interesting choice too, also to remain strong in certain scenes where, like just because it's sad and they don't have to cry. Maybe the whole intensity of the scene is when you're trying to fight those things. So I think what I was saying with this was a great strength, you know, like someone you can see on stage, which is great, or even in a fun like a Disney show. It'd be interesting to see it again, even more broken down.
And less is more.
Yeah.
I would push you less. That sounds kind of like you know, I would push you to do less. Just to get more in your lips, in your face, and in this kind of thought process. Yeah, good, good.
Thank you.
All right, Meg. Can I see a hand who are still going?
1, 2? 2. Okay, perfect.
Which one are you doing, Meg? No, I'm sorry, Meg. I heard you the first time it's Meg. I'm sorry, Meg. And what's your interest in voices or this?
It was my dream when I was a child, and I never told it.
Do you think you're too old?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Ooh.
Like these professionals?
talk about it later, otherwise I can't make it.
Of course, yeah.
Alright, we'll channel that energy.
Yeah, channel that energy into your work.
You have a beauty mark and an enchanting charm. I see you have a beauty mark and enchanting charm spell. Surely you don't believe that a pleasant face and a charming swagger will save you from the bite of my blades, spearman. Oh, so you desire. So sorry. So what you desire is a fair fight, then let us begin. The long spear in the right hand, or the short spear in the left. I just not with that. If I could be certain which one it was, I could attack and defeat him. Whoever he is, he's a master of the spear. But that's not enough. That red spear of yours, that red spear of yours is able to gate magic. Very well. If I cannot block your blade, I need only kill you before it strikes. I'm afraid you never know the true name of my blade. I'll finish it before you ever get the chance. Prepare to die.
Because that's not very therapeutic. How do you feel right?
That was very nervous. There you go.
Yeah, everybody's very nervous. Everybody's very nervous. Where are you from originally? Brazil. Yeah, I'm hearing a little bit of that Portuguese thing about friends of Portuguese. Yeah. So, and a whole different type of Portuguese than Portugal. Yes. So, I would have. So one of the things that you brought out, because everybody brings out something different, and what you brought out is that for a second I saw you become Saber, but then when you made a mistake, you became May.
Yes.
And then you became Saber again. And then you became May because you made a mistake. If you become Saber, Saber makes mistakes when she's talking and you just keep going. So even if you're doing a commercial where you just have regular words for a bank, all you do is keep the momentum. If you're in it, you say pick up. You go back to the beginning of the sentence and you pick it up, right? And in anime, they just take the take over again. It doesn't matter. So don't apologize because it stops you from staying in the momentum of your character. There are no real apologies. There's just mistakes and people don't pay attention to it. They really don't. They really don't because we make them all the time.
Just keep rolling,
check that out.
So you get that, it's like hold on to your character no matter what you do. And if you're apologizing, then you're not holding on to your character. And I think that's what I'm trying to get across.
Well, it makes you step out
Yeah.
to be made apologizing for, and then you have to go back into the character. So just staying in the character, knowing, hey, we all make mistakes. We do it all the time. We know just to get trimmed out and we'll never care about it fast. I think what I'm getting from you, and I could be wrong, but I think there's beautiful creative energy that has a lot to share with the world, and I think the world should see that. And I think that
Even
something
in
or
Portuguese.
someone has contained that. For some reason, there's like a lid put on that tea kettle, and it's not allowing itself to come out. And I think there's even more that's going to come out in this performance. And you need to follow that heart. You need to do what you need to do, and not listen to what people tell you. I've had people tell me, you're too smug, you're too this, you're too that, you're not going to be a leading man, you're not going to make a look. There's been voices when I was going to training of just garbage, it's just garbage. You got to filter it out because you know what? The person who told me that, I don't know where they are they working? Are they doing anything? I have a career, I've made a living for myself doing exactly what she told me I would never get past to work. And it's garbage. There's a lot of people who are jealous of any kind of passionate person or creativity and want to stop you because they were stopped or they stopped themselves.
You guys, we bought it. I was told I had a perfect face for radio. And so I did on-camera news, just to spite that, just to hear that. I was told you can't lie my own parents, and I went, right, and got very successful, and have remained that way for over 30 years, okay? And have gone through a whole transition in voiceover, and I still am gonna do it. There's no age in voiceover. You have a perfect face for voiceover. But the bottom line is that that really there is no age. I've been teaching for up teen years and over 20-some years, and I get people of all different ages that start and all different people who make it in the voiceover business. And by the way, in terms of having the insecurities, there's so many people with insecurities. It's called the acting business, and that's why they act, because they feel better acting than they do sometimes in certain areas of their life. I'm a therapist, I'm a marriage and family therapist, so I said the way I talk sometimes sounds like that. That's true, I am. So yeah. We'll talk more about it. All right, thank you for sharing, and thank you for being raw with us. Okay, who's next? Come on up. Come on up, Kitty.
Kitty, who are you doing?
Read what's your name?
We believe in you. Let's believe and play. Let's do it.
There's rabbits!
Oh my, what a pudding.
Coincidence. Just jump over it.
I
Get back into your character.
can't believe you stood me up. You knew I was waiting for you. I wanted to see you, Jean. Sorry for tricking you. Do I know Ray's Hughes, you ask? Oh yes, he was a handsome, smart man. It's a pity I couldn't finish him off. Oh, gunfire. You want me to get on my knees to tell you everything I know? That's impossible. You boys can't make me feel. As expected from a hero from the show, you're relentless. It looks like you did your homework, G. So as a reward, I'll show you this. A philosopher's stone. Humans created with this stone as their core. That's what we homunculi are. Oh, you think I'm a monster? How rude. And unfortunately for you,
You can't. You can't even make your fire now. Too slow.
Why are you shaking your head?
Awkward.
What do you mean? You're exposing yourself to all of us.
Stop.
I mean,
You don't know what to do with your body.
yeah.
But you
More
did.
of those things.
But this actually looks really good.
Except when I was asking you to be a kitty.
That's right. The nice, I mean, that would be a great performance in terms of, you know, it's very, you're very intimate and it's very minimal. The movements are minimal, everything is minimal, but you're still getting the scene through it.
And you have to sort of jump the line, jump the broom in voiceover because you have to be bigger. You have to push, even if you're being bigger, and I'm saying in a smaller, more intimate way, where you're pulling it down, but you're pulling it down to a 10 instead of a 5. Because on camera, the camera's just making you know, it says it adds 10 pounds. It also is like, you know, I did on camera work and people are like, you're a voiceover artist. Because I would be like, no. And they're like, all you have to do is say it without moving. Say it without moving. And just do it with your eyes. You know? So you have to know feel what the difference is. Get a message out. And it becomes actually a real feeling how to get that message out. Yeah, don't make any apologies for your being nervous. Everybody was nervous and everybody's going to be nervous. And so I think you did a great job. I felt you were I would know your beats a little bit more. You stayed very controlled so as to not like make that mistake. And I felt like you could get so much more out of it. So much more out of it. But it was good. All right, great. Thanks, Ashton. Who else do we have?
I got one more right there.
One more.
Excellent. Tell us your name. Shawnee.
Wow, such great names here.
You're doing fair.
Wait. You have always made fun of me, but now I think you look cute suffering like this. But as long as I have this, my power's unlimited. I can now overthrow Rubus and rise to the top of the Black Moon family. You're nothing but traitors, but I don't need you. Dark lightning! Finally, you're awake, Lord Sapphire. I am sorry we betrayed you. I'm ready for my punishment, but I beg you, please forgive my sisters. I'll take all of the blame. Please, don't go, Lord Sapphire. If you go, Lord, in this day, you could, if something happens to you, I'll never forgive myself. Goodbye, Lord Sapphire. It will always be my home.
Cool. Cool. I'm trying to think of what exact point it was. Yeah, you can. I wanted to see a little more taking time to do each beats. I think, especially because it has that split scene where it goes to the other situation. Even just more committed to that. It started out really good.
People laughing all day.
Yeah.
Big cosplaying everyone there.
Cool.
What do you feel like when you're in your cosplay?
Yeah, I stay in character. That's a whole.
You've got to stay in character, and so how do you stay in character?
Well, they get all. That's my senpai over there.
I'm interjecting. You wrote that.
Okay, you do role play.
Yes.
So you really feel like your character when you're in character. That's what you need to bring to the mic, right? And so I felt like you were really almost there. Like that again, more prompting would really work. I thought some of the notes that you've been taking from us, you put into here, and I thought that was really good.
I have enough say. That was my thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then again, You stopped yourself because you didn't know how to say it. I don't think that Lachlan knew how to say it either.
Oh, no, I
And so
didn't.
you just rushed through it. They'll come back to you. They'll come back to you and say, go back and say that. It's pronounced this way. Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
I grew up on Sailor Moon, honestly.
The old ones.
Yeah.
That's
The
my first
original.
one.
I loved it.
That was my first scene, I think.
You want to? All right, thanks, Shawnee.
Oh.
And wow, we have one more? Okay, the glory of going first is you get to go last.
You give one person one more shot at it, if they're interested, okay? Which means, you know, you want to, it's just because we give out so many notes throughout the whole thing, you want to incorporate all of that stuff.
So all of your notes from the beginning go into effect with you before, but all of them get crossed out. We're starting again. So in other words, take what we said before,
Links like
clean slate. Body. These were body.
Curse that blade first. Without knowing its exact length, I can't get close enough to attack. The fact that she's able to repel my strikes so easily means that she must be a master swordsman. There really is no honor in battle fought without a proper exchange of names. Allow me to offer my regards. It's impressive for a woman to fight so hard without even breaking a sweat, but somehow you do it. Are you using wind mana to keep your blade concealed? I'll wager you have a very good reason to conceal your sword from me. And I think the sword reveals your true name. And the time has come for me to kill you. So prepare, Saber. This time, you're mine.
Something body movement this time, doing bows.
See where your hands are? That's where they went with the shade.
Dave Marks.
Make your thumb stay in your pocket. In your pocket.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Did like the bow or whatever, that makes it, we were talking about honor here, proper exchange, that's what it was going to the body, yeah.
Yes.
Pockets.
Yeah.
And it made a difference, it brought a natural awareness to that moment. So that was the difference. You're working with the body.
Yeah.
The body and hands.
And this is new for you, other than your editing stuff. But this goes for everybody. But it was fast. It was a little too fast. I want to hear the notes again.
Okay.
I want to hear those notes. One of the things that sometimes helps if you're a visual person is to put like colors, like red would equal anger, or orange would equal less than anger, or purple would be regal. You can use colors next to it, like, you know, little colors, or you can write yourself even more notes than are written on the specs on the script.
Okay.
And really push it. It's about pushing through you and pulling back, pushing and pulling back. Yeah, because right now it's a little bit too much in the box. And I want you to like color outside the lines, then go back. Yeah.
Because most of my stuff I have to sit right there in front of the mic just because I have no room to move at all.
And you have it. You have more freedom. Nice job. Okay, great, good. I'm glad you
He
did
wants to
that.
try.
Okay, so we have to.
I want to basically it's not.
I think, no, we don't. Unfortunately, it's 250. Yeah, you guys, I'm sorry, but creating character class, can you do that?
Yeah.
Did I say it again? All right, so give us a few seconds just to deliberate, okay? Boys after idol.
That's right. All right.
All right, so this is our hardest part, you guys. So this is what we do. So if we're casting, obviously we've never cast this fast, but we're looking for the person that we would find most castable for the role they read. Does that make sense? Most castable for the role they read. So we have 3 winners because we just have always got 3 winners. Okay. So those 3 winners are, and kudos to all of you for getting up and doing this. Yes, you can come over here. So. Okay, so you can come up and everybody give a round of applause after Dax announces the 3.
John.
It's a voiceover dynamic duo. So we have socks that have little capes on them. So there's Batman and there's Superman. Who are you today, Batman or Superman? All right, Batman. There we go. Good. Congratulations. All right, next person.
Morgan.
Okay, good job, Morgan. Okay. And the 3rd person?
Lachlan.
Batman. All right, you guys.
All right, thank you, everybody.
That's always hard for us, and then we sit and we deliberate over and over and over again, so we have to come up with something. Does anybody have like 2 minutes of questions or anything like that? What's your takeaway? What did somebody pick up that if they're going to be practicing with coffee? What are you walking away with that you have to do? Knowledge, anything specifically? What? Yeah, be loose. I like to do it the positive way. I like be loose. Yeah. So know your mic technique. Yeah, mic here. And the popper stopper's here, so you're going to be like this, looking with one eye. Yes?
How to act like a character.
Not kind of, totally. Liz?
Be completely off the page as you start. Start off the page.
Yeah, I mean, you have the words, that's not what that means, but like, start off the page. Now, I don't know if you guys were walking in when I said sometimes start at the bottom. With that, I do that on all specs, all commercials, all industrials, everything. You finally get the rhythm by the time you've read the whole thing through once or twice. By the end, you're feeling better and better, so sometimes start there. All right, you guys, thank you for coming.
All right, thank you.
And I guess we have another panel coming in, right? So we're going to skedaddle out.